Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the first ladies' night, plus Devin tonight, right?
I'm crashing
so
ladies'
welcome,
night.
welcome. Welcome to the stream. And with me, as always, is the beautiful Raya. How are you, Raya?
I'm doing great. I just finished up my stream on my channel and jumped it right over here. So yeah, happy to be here.
I know. I was on Chaos Central and then came right over here. So yeah. And Mrs. Is it Underhaven?
Yeah, that's my channel name, but you can just call me. You can just say Anna.
Anna, it's nice to
yeah.
meet you. Welcome.
Oh yeah. I'm very glad to be here. It was a really nice day. It was a pretty long day, so I'm glad to just be able to come here and just chill, talk about some entertainment for a while.
Yes. And Devin, the old Nerdcast, is here. How are you, Devin?
I'm pretty good. Finally recovering from my weekend.
Oh, too much fun or sick? Which one was it?
Well, it was too much work in the Texas heat. I almost gave myself a heat stroke.
Oh yeah, Texas. I know how hot that is. Wasp and all, huh? It's really hot there right now.
Yeah.
You know, I understand that. So we all had a chance to see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, right?
Yep.
I was so excited to see this movie. I've now seen it 4 times.
Wow.
And in the first question that I kind of want to get into, you guys, before we kind of talk about each individual character, is a question that's been going around, and if people have actually heard this when they were in the theater. Did this feel like a Doctor Strange film to you? Or was Doctor Strange overshadowed here in his own movie? That's the question. A lot of people are saying that, it really didn't feel like a Doctor Strange film. What do you think, Raya?
Yeah, just to quickly answer your question, I do agree with that to an extent. I do think that Strange was not necessarily a co-star, but there was equal footing as far as presence in the narrative between Strange and Scarlet Witch and other characters that we're going to get into. So yeah, I can definitely understand where that sentiment is coming from.
Anna, what do you think?
Well, I seem to disagree with a lot of people who have that opinion, because I actually do feel like it honors being a Doctor Strange sequel first and foremost. But I was just talking with one of my best friends before I hopped on here, actually, and they said that it felt like more of a sequel to WandaVision than a sequel to Doctor Strange. And I get that, but I do feel like first and foremost, like, he is the driving force. I mean, she isn't a way, the actual fucking thing that brings up the plot. But I feel like it really does honor him as a character and his positive qualities that make him, different from the other Avengers. I feel like it, really does honor that idea of being a Doctor Strange film first and foremost before anything else. And that's kind of what I was afraid of with this movie, is that it was just going to be like a slideshow of cameos, and we weren't actually going to get any substance with Strange himself. And there's a lot that we see about Wanda, but I think it is a Doctor Strange movie first and foremost.
Yes, and Devin, what would you say here?
I agree that it was definitely it felt like a Doctor Strange movie to me. He played a very prominent role. Yeah, there was a lot of screen time to Wanda, and the crux of the story is a continuation of where WandaVision left off. But I think it was really more of an intersection between what Doctor Strange was about and what Wanda was about, as far as him coming to terms with, quote unquote, not getting the girl, and is he happy, and all of that sort of stuff, and everything that, his character has kind of been something of a Sherpa in the MCU as far as how they dealt with Thanos and all of that. And there hasn't been much of a focus on him as a person. And I think this movie did a pretty good job of that, while also kind of showing difference to what was going on with the other sorcerers, and how it intertwines with where his place in that, now that he isn't the Sorcerer Supreme anymore, and all this other stuff that I think gave a lot of weight to the character in a way that maybe the first Doctor Strange movie kind of didn't do, in my opinion. So I think it is absolutely a Doctor Strange movie.
Belle, welcome. How are you, Belle?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. Well, the first question that I had was, did this film feel like a Doctor Strange film to you? Because I know a lot of people are like arguing it's America's Chavez's film, it's Wanda's film, it's everybody else's film except for Doctor Strange. Do you feel like at the core of the film that this is still a Doctor Strange story at heart?
I believe so, because it was, he was he took a big role in the story, like, and he was the main character, and especially in the ending with all the magic, all the crazy magic. What do you call it? I think it's a continuation of the first movie, but at the same time, I think that it's very important to watch all of the movies to know what's going on, because if you go in there watching this movie, you're gonna be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, who the fuck is America Chavez? Like, you gotta know all these characters going in. So, like, I say that it is definitely a Doctor Strange movie. That's what it felt like to me anyways. I mean, his character was focused on.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, to me, I feel like maybe he was more understated, where Wanda was like more animated and, and bigger than life. But at the core of the story was about him learning how to let go, right?
Exactly.
And learning how to learn how to let go and to trust that he doesn't have to be the one to save the day. Because we hear Christine say that, I always could respect you, but you had to hold the knife and I couldn't love you. And so he has to learn that lesson. And it's and for him, we find out the root cause of that when he's talking about how he lost his sister, when she falls in the ice. And then later on, as it continues through the story, when he has that moment with America Chavez there, later down the road, when Wong's like, we've got to do this, we got to take her powers. And in that moment, he trusts that America Chavez can step up and do what needs to be done. And I think that's his lesson. He still has that arrogance that's within him, but I think that he is also kind of now like the pseudo Tony Stark, and we're going to see that arc. We see him, at the peak of his arrogance in the first Doctor Strange, right? And then we see how he was succumbed to fear, and how he's let go of that fear, but that arrogance is still there. And he still thinks that he knows right more than anyone else. And so I feel like that's going to be part of his arc. And by the end, he is going to, give his own sacrifice by learning to let go and allow to trust into others. And that's what he did here. So for me, it's very much a Doctor Strange film. He's just a little bit more understated, where Wanda is bigger than life, and America Chavez is, this young girl who is, trying to figure things out. But that's my take on that there about them. And does anybody else have anything to add?
No, I agree with what you said there, because I feel like that is part of the issue. Is like Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda has such this big presence whenever she's on screen that I feel like a lot of people misunderstand. Like, they don't actually look at how much from the start of this movie to the end of the movie, how much Strange's character progresses and changes and evolves. And I feel like that shouldn't be understated. I feel like this movie did a really good job with the character moments. It was really refreshing to see that type of focus. We don't always get that in these Marvel movies as much as we should.
That's what I was also thinking too. Like, there was more character building with Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
The multiverse scene.
It was pretty cool. Like what I liked about it is the fact that so we recognize now that Doctor Strange, after everything that had happened up till this point, is a pretty powerful character. And he's got a lot of insight to the workings of the universe and multiverse, even to a little degree, and all of that. But he's immediately paired against, the Scarlet Witch, who is more powerful than him. And even though they are allies, in a lot of regards, there's this instance now where she's the unstoppable object, and he's the immovable force, and you just see those two kind of colliding in a really, really intense way, and it adds a lot of tension because you expect Doctor Strange to be the guy with the answers, right? Mm-hmm. But none of his answers seem to be good enough to overpower what she can do with just sheer power. So it was a really cool dichotomy to see the character development built up between those two characters play out in how their power struggle was. So I really enjoyed the character development of that point of view. Like, it wasn't so much like, and I loved how it kind of turned into a horror movie halfway into the movie, just like a straight up Sam Raimi horror movie, which was awesome. So like I completely loved what they did with the characters in it.
I'm surprised they let Sam Raimi get away with this as much as he did, honestly. Like,
yep, I loved it. Loved every moment.
Every minute of it. Like, even like the campiness of it all, it like worked. I feel like there were some issues with the script a bit, and I'll talk about the main issue that I had with the film in a little bit when we get into like maybe a few negatives. But let's talk about our newest character, because outside of like Peter Parker, now we know Miss Marvel's coming into the MCU. This is like the first like kid that we've seen outside of Peter Parker, right? So I was like really interested to see how is America Chavez going to fit into this world, and what version of America Chavez that we're going to get. So I do want to talk about America Chavez first. So that's where we're going to start. First, we're going to start with America Chavez. Rhea, what were your initial reactions, and was there any moments that you liked from her, and then maybe something that you didn't dislike, that you disliked, that maybe happened in the film with America Chavez?
Yeah, I loved her character design as far as like her outfits, and her attitude was kind of a hurdle at first for me to get used to, but I eventually grew to enjoy it, as far as like her being able to banter and have discourse with Doctor Strange. The thing I guess I didn't like as much, I would have to say, is the lack of emotion I could see in her face as far as like her responding to things that are happening around her. So I might just chalk it up to her being like, a young actress. But yeah, that was just, one criticism that I had for her.
All right, Devin?
I mean, I didn't know anything about America Chavez going into the movie, and I feel like I don't really know that much coming out of the movie. There were some moments where you learn, I guess, about her past, but I think that like she spent the duration of the movie pretty much tied to Doctor Strange's hip. And I think it probably would have done the character a little bit better if she had more moments away from him. Maybe a little bit of a mini adventure on her own to kind of build out her character, her personality a little bit more. I really don't have any kind of strong opinion on her either way, because I don't think that she was really given all that much. She was just a MacGuffin, really. And pretty much functioned to that degree almost exclusively. Like, I guess it was cool at the end, little turn, but I don't really have any strong feelings either way.
Yes, I understand. Like, I was talking with someone the other day, and they told me if you would have just replaced her basically with the cube box in No Way Home and turned her into a box, no difference. Except for the emotions and some things, but she was just basically a plot device,
Yeah.
a lot of times in the film. Belle, what were your thoughts on America Chavez?
That's what I was gonna say. It's almost like they needed a motive and shit. They used her as the motive for Wanda, to be the villain and attempt to gain her power and whatnot. I'm so sorry, guys. my dog. Hold on.
No, you're fine.
That's an angry pupper.
Well, we'll go ahead and go to you on him. We'll come back to Belle. I understand my dog does that a lot.
So yeah, like when it comes to everything that this movie had to do, be a sequel to the first Doctor Strange, be a sequel to No Way Home, be a sequel to WandaVision,
Loki, in a way.
Yeah, in a way that too. And introduce America Chavez. This movie was gonna fall flat in doing one of those jobs. Like, and I feel like it's really unfortunate that, like, because I feel like there's no like hostility I'm feeling towards the character aside from morons on the internet, but like most people seem to be okay, with the character overall, or they just neutral. But I feel like it really is important to, like, especially for like Latin American representation, that that this be done right. And it just was, I wasn't really like sold personally. Like, there was no real like standout scene. I feel like at least one standout scene with the character like really putting her personality out there and like being like, okay, this is someone I could get in like on board with like a limited series, but just right now, I don't know. I don't know if I could see this character like holding up a miniseries, and that makes me sad to say because I look forward to the Miss Marvel show. That looks really interesting from what we've seen of it so far, and I was really looking forward to going into this movie and coming out wanting to like see this character have a miniseries. I just don't know if it's there yet. Maybe we need to see her in like another film first.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree with a lot of some of the things you guys said, but I think that she had a few, like, but Reyes, she had a few cute moments, and like outside, and like the power looked cool. I think that when she finally got up and she did that punch, I thought that was like a cool scene. But like the pizza balls was a little, like I didn't really like that. And she kept talking about food, but she was cute. They were things that she did that I really enjoyed. And like my favorite moment is probably like the silliest little moment is like in the end when she's trying to make a portal and she's like moving her hands all fast. And
that was good.
I thought that was cute. I thought that was adorable. And I was like, oh, like, man, if we could have seen more of these like little, cute, things in her personality throughout the film instead of like trying to, have this, food. I like food and pizza. It just seemed like it became a little bit too much, for me.
Yeah, I thought the good parts were very
cute
sparse.
moments were cute. I did like though the moment when they were like at the pizza pub and she's like eating the pizza and she's talking to them. That was the best pizza moment she had. But other than that, the pizza balls and then talking about how it's hard to eat when you're in the paint world, I was just like, nah, let's just skip all that. But I thought that, I thought that she did a good job. She doesn't have the strong personality of America Chavez from the comic books. She's a little bit more timid. America Chavez is like, this, she's got the attitude, she's confident, but I think that this America Chavez is going to grow into that character because she's a little bit younger too here than what she is in the comic books.
Yeah, the actor's only like 16 years old.
Yeah, well, she was 14 when she filmed it. 14, 15, and she's just now 16. Yeah, and
how old is the character in the comics?
17ish. So she's a few years older. So and so I feel like she's going to grow into that.
Probably.
That the attitude that she has. But I thought that she, when she had good moments, but a lot of the times she just did seem like a plot device at times. So that's America Chavez. Does anybody have any other points or anything that they want to add here?
Yeah, I didn't really give a shit about her character, to be honest, because I didn't. I didn't really care for her character because she's just some dumbass little kid, and I mean,
whoa.
But
it's an opinion, I guess.
I'm sorry. I mean, because I'm like hella old, so like to me, like
she's like F them kids. That's what she's saying. Belle is like on them F them kids type stuff.
Well, I get it though, because like she was just kind of tailing around Doctor Strange, and then she didn't
screaming, and she did scream a lot. Like someone pointed that out, and then when I watched it again, like she was screaming quite a bit.
I think a lot of the reason why people might not resonate with the character is because, like, this is just a movie where all the other characters get some cool moments, some really, like, standout highlight stuff that we get to see, or they're characters that are, like, variants of, played by actors that we recognize. So there's something behind it. So, I feel like people are really overwhelmed in this sea of, like, awesomeness as a movie. Just this character just fell flat for a lot of people. It's unfortunate. Hopefully they do better by her in the future.
Yes, I'm going to read Lewis's point. He said America Chavez is going to have a series at some point, which I'm looking forward to because I really like the actress. Also, I effing love Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And
I don't know if that's confirmed if she's having a series yet, but I'm not
we'll see. I haven't seen anything. And then Brian says I thought the movie was decent. I just think I had my feel at the moment, like a buffet. I'm gorging on Trek course right now. Okay. See, and I've heard a lot of people like say, it was, it's all right for them. They really don't know how to feel about it, because a lot of people were built up on this hype train and when it didn't deliver, they're like, so, but for me, I thought it was a good film. So of course, next I want to talk about Christine here. What do we think about Christine and then her chemistry with Strange? Do you buy it? Is it there? thoughts on Christine here, Rhea?
Yeah, at least like this multiverse Christine, where Strange is dead in her multiverse. As far as like chemistry, there was not real. I didn't really feel like she had any sort of like romantic, tension or connection with the Strange that came from the other multiverse. Probably because she had like, that's entirely different person. That's another Strange that she's interacting with, and she had already like kind of like made peace with the Strange in her universe having like having died, and they were never really in a confirmed relationship explicitly to begin with. So she had like kind of moved on and closed that chapter, and that was the vibe that I got as far as like their relationship, and as far as her being like a capable partner in executing tasks and like the next step in the narrative and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool. It would have been nice to sort of get some context as far as like how is she so capable at being able to surface knowledge about the multiverse through like her research, I guess, where she was just virtually a volunteer, and now she's basically the smartest person in that multiverse right now. So that was a little jarring to sort of like wrap my mind around, compared to Christine, who was basically like I forget if she was like a doctor or a nurse.
Yeah, she was an emergency. She was an ER doctor. She was a physician.
Yeah, so it was kind of a huge jump in like career fields for me to sort of like be like, okay, I guess like you're a doctor, so I guess like one doctor here can be another doctor over here. But yeah, that was a little jarring for me. But yeah, like I said, it seemed like every Christine in either the main multiverse or the new multiverse that we meet new Christine had moved on. Like she was just like, yeah, Strange, I wish you well, but yeah, that's
yeah, I mean,
we're done.
Yeah, that was like his like, because like in the What If episodes, like what if Stephen Strange lost his hands? His nexus point was that him and Christine don't work out in any universe. Like he fails at it in every universe where there's a Christine, and it just doesn't work. That's just like his thing. Devin, what did you think about Christine here? And do you feel that her and Strange had chemistry here?
I think they had chemistry. I don't think it was like a romantic chemistry, but I think they had chemistry that kind of worked to the angle of them, having issues with one another. That she basically was his therapist in the movie, and like just kind of helped him work out his own issues for the most part. I guess Earth 616 Christine, I was it was kind of weird at the beginning because he's at their wedding, and then like the monster attacks, and he goes off and he's fighting that one-eyed octopus thing, and she's watching him save the city, but she has this expression like, oh, of course, again. It's like, wait a second, like a monster's attacking. Like, why are you so exasperated by him doing the superhero thing that, he obviously saved the 500 million people or whatever doing? So it was kind of weird in that regard. But then when you see her in the other universe, and it's like, oh, okay, it's like this character is just fed up with him being like, from her perspective, like, everything revolves around him in some capacity.
And needing to be perfect too.
Yeah, and needing to be the hero, needing to be the one with the scalpel or whatever she said, the one with the knife. And I kind of got that at the very end when they were in the world that was the incursion world. And I think that they did a good job with that character, because it's tricky taking a character like that and kind of having her have a similar through line through different types of lived experiences, where in one reality, she's a relatively normal nurse and all that, but then like she lived in a reality where Strange was kind of the villain of sorts, and he died, and she had to come to terms with that. And now this other Strange showed up, and she was very kind of cool and scientific in her approach to him at first, and it was an interesting thing to see. I think they had chemistry, and I like what they did with the character. But I think again, it's kind of like the American Chavez thing, where it's like this character really only exists to be a therapist to Doctor Strange. So
Yeah.
there wasn't a whole breadth of things they could really do with her at that point.
Belle, what did you think of Christine? And her,
Um,
was there chemistry with her and Doctor Strange there for you?
I mean, it was more like she didn't like him. That's what I got off of her. Like the one, not the wedding one, the one from the other universe. That was the kind of like they had like a bad, really like the worst history, even more worse than the other universe. That's how I felt, and I didn't really feel that they had chemistry. And she was kind of getting on my nerves towards the end because she kept like trying to tell him what to do, and I was just like, man, shut the fuck up, bitch. Just let him freaking do what he needs to do to save the planet or whatever their motive was. So like, I don't know. That's the vibes I got off of her. Like, I didn't really feel no chemistry.
Okay. Anna?
So, you know how we mentioned like the last time you came around to me, like how this is like a sequel to like 5 different things?
Yes.
Well, actually, it's a sequel to like 6 different things because I forgot about What If. Because like, look, I feel like if you have seen What If, it makes a little bit more sense. But I feel like this would really fall flat for someone who just comes into this movie like having, let's say you've even just seen like only the first Doctor Strange. They're gonna be like, what's the particular interest in this one? Why are we focusing so much on this one lady? But I feel like What If did kind of like sell like why he cares about her so much, and I think that was honestly the best the best episode of What If I'm being entirely honest. It had a lot of like emotional resonance. It was pretty fucking good, and so I think that was good. But it's just a matter of like I get it because I've seen all this Marvel stuff, but I wonder how this movie looks to someone who's just like coming in like having seen like the first movie or this is their first Marvel movie in a long time. Because some people are only watching this because like they like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy and they're like, I haven't seen a comic book movie in 20 years, but here I am. And I guess that's just my concern. Like, is it going to be okay for them? I can't put myself in their shoes. So, I guess we'll just have to see how the movie performs at the box office.
Yeah, with me, with Christine, I felt like that. I kind of agree with Belle here. It just felt like a lot of the times she was so irritated with him because she didn't trust him based off the experience with the Strange from her universe and knowing, that he had got, corrupted by the Darkhold and caused an incursion, and that she felt that Strange was a threat to the multiverse, and she just did not trust him, right? So I felt like she was irritated, and it wasn't really until I feel like when they got to Supreme Strange, in the incursion, when he's like, well, if you give me your Christine, it seemed like then there was a shift with with how she was treating Strange then. But for the most of the part, it was just like, fine, I guess I'll help you, like, but still not trusting him. And she just seemed very annoyed with him. So I really didn't buy a lot of the chemistry, but I think that maybe it was because she was trying to be cold to him, and he was trying to come towards her, and she was pushing away. So that I think that might have been intentional, really. But it didn't even play off, even in the end, when they were like, oh, well, we could have had it would have been a great incursion, like if they would have went off together. Like I didn't even buy that moment. For me, Christine, I preferred her in the first film. Here, I just like, I kind of agree with Devin. I feel like she was just here to service with Strange. She really didn't bring a whole lot. I mean, she gave us some exposition about 616 and how universes are, and 838, and that she named all the universes, right? So I mean, I guess, but I wasn't really sold on Christine in this movie. Like, just dry to me, in my opinion. So that's what I would say. I'm glad that now, like, that is kind of, that chapter has been put to bed. So, because Clea is going to come in, and that's his real true love, it's his wife. And I feel like that's going to be a more equal partner for him, than Christine was. Because originally they weren't even going to bring her back in this film, but they did. But I think they could have left her out, really, in my opinion. That's how I feel about her. Like, weakest part of the whole movie for me. Outside of Wong, and I think Wong was Wong just was like, I loved him in the beginning, and then he got thrown off the thing, and then he was gone, and then he was back, and it was just like, oh, I forgot you were here, you know. But Wong was good when he was there, but then when he was gone for the second half of the film, you know, it was just like, and then you're back, you know, and it was, I don't know. But next character we're going to talk about my girl, right? I don't have my hat on, so I don't have my pen. You know, my Wanda. I love her, you know. Let's talk about Wanda, and then we'll lead into the Illuminati, right? Wanda. What do we think about Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch here in this movie? Rhea, what did you think?
Yeah, like I've been saying all over Twitter, Wanda did nothing wrong. She was 100% reasonable the entire time, but people just didn't want to listen. They just kept getting in her way. All she wanted was to go and be with her children, and people were just, like, not letting her do that. So obviously, like, she kept, you know, trying, like I said, trying to be reasonable, trying to, you know, get them to back off so she can, you know, go be with her family. But people were just, like, not having it. So she had to do what she had to do. So, yeah. That's my take on Wanda.
Devin?
I've been saying for years that Wanda is an absolute villain, like just a pure through and through villain. She always has been a villain, and only really has been reined in her villainy either through Vision or through Quicksilver. And like, this is a great study on what Wanda would be like if she didn't have Vision or Quicksilver. And it is like a straight, direct path to true monstrous villainy. And it was cool to see for certain. Like, I liked the direction they took her. Like, just make her hardcore. That's all you really need to do. Like, she doesn't need to be a hero. She doesn't need to be anything other than like a super powerful hardcore badass that's like a monster in a Sam Raimi movie, which I loved. I absolutely loved it. I don't think she was justified in what she was doing. She was trying to steal kids from another dimension, which, you know, only really would have pissed off the other Wanda, which would have led to a Wanda versus Wanda battle, which probably would have been cool to see on film at some point, you know. But
okay, I don't mean to like throw this out there, but like she basically said every day of my life is a waking nightmare. Like that's roughly what she said. Like, yeah. So like if you were pushed to like that like point where like you're only ever happy in a like in like a state of like sleep, and you know that you know happiness exists out there somewhere, and you have the means to attain it. You just have to like be bold enough to take it.
That's the thing.
And you know,
that's the thing. Like, she has the means to take it.
And Rhea sounds just like Monica Rambeau in WandaVision. But I agree. Like, Wanda has lost her parents. She's lost her brother. She's lost the love of her life. And Wanda is fueled by her emotions. And you know, but continue, Devin.
She should hang out with Thor then. Because he lost all those things too. The only thing is, Thor doesn't have like omnipotent power, and she does. So she has like the easy way out. Otherwise, she just have to go to therapy like everybody else. Like, you just go to therapy.
Yeah. Bill, what did you think of Wanda here?
Well, first of all, I think I can see her hanging out with her dad, Magneto, Michael Fassbender, and fucking shit up. Like, that'd be fucking awesome to see, dude. I hope we get something like that eventually. Because when I saw Patrick Stewart's Professor X, I was like, oh, her dad might be Magneto in this universe, you know. And I got, you know, all excited about that. But her character was the best thing for me in the movie. Like, she's definitely stole, even though it was a Doctor Strange film, she stole the whole entire movie. She really did. Just because the fact that I think she was held back in the Avengers and Endgame and all that in terms of her power, because this bitch was powerful as fuck in this movie. I was like, damn, like, she could have done all this during the war. Where the fuck was this at, you know? I was just like, damn. So, like, I think, like what Rhea said, like, she got pushed, you know, and, like, you know, we all know she's really a villain. You know, she was never really part of a, you know, what do you call it, superhero team like the Avengers.
Later, like she was, but later, much later.
For like the span of a couple films, she was part of the Avengers. Yeah,
and some of the issues for but she starts out as a villain and then she turns good, and then she goes back bad again. It's like
He flip flops a lot.
Yeah, so she does have a good arc. Yeah, but she's more compelling when she's a villain.
Evil. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was
You can't
the
have a
best
good
actor
guy be
I've
that
seen by her.
powerful.
No, and chaos magic. Come on, She's
Yeah,
gotta be
I know, but still, like I felt like she was held back, like in the in those other films. And you can't be a good guy with that power. Look at Superman; he has all the power in the world, and
yeah,
he's
it's
a good
called
guy.
chaos magic. Like,
Yeah.
what's she gonna, she's gonna make things peaceful with it. Like,
she's gonna make orchards and apples. You know? That's what she's gonna do.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was a cool moment. I guess maybe
liked
that's a question to pose too. Like, what is your favorite Wanda moment in this movie? Because I have several. Like, I liked that reveal. That was a good character moment. Like where she accidentally slipped that she knew America Chavez's name, and then she was just like, I just can't get used to lying or whatever. And then like the whole place just turns real hellscapey, and I was like, oh shit, like this got real in a hurry.
And I even like how like the reaction on Strange when he realizes it and he just stops, and it's just like a small like moment.
Yeah,
but just the way Benedict Cumberbatch he just like stops dead in his tracks. And then she's like, "Oh, I didn't say her name," and then you get that reveal, and she calls him a hypocrite. She's like, she basically says, "You break the rules, and somehow you're a hero. I break the rules," and then she calls him a hypocrite later, and he is like, she calls him out on the things that he does that's wrong here, and
that was funny.
I mean, she has so many great lines. The reasonable, when she was. That was amazing, and then when he was like, "You made your kids, they're not real. You made them out of magic," and she's like, "That's what every mother does." Like, just like line after line after line. I love Wanda. I've loved Wanda since Age of Ultron. She has been the perfect sad girl for the MCU, and then to go to WandaVision and to see her this powerful in this movie, amazing, and just the emotion, and then like I feel. I understand where that root of pain comes from, because she wants to be with her children. She's lost everything. And then the only hope right now that she has left is that this attachment to find these children. And in order to get exactly what she wants, she's going to, go off and say, I'm going to have to cure America Chavez and steal her power. Because if anything ever happens to my kids, I can make sure that they're cured and nothing happens, because she has a fear of losing people. And so for me, that makes sense for her to want to steal that power so she can protect them at all costs. And if she has to go through these different universes, because she's lost everyone else up to this point. But just spot on. I hope we get a solo film, and I don't want her to be redeemed. I want her to, be evil, and maybe at the end of her run, maybe have that switch. But she does have that silly switch at the end here in the film. But I'm hoping that was just a mini moment, and then she's still going to continue on this path of being evil, and then maybe the Brotherhood could come in. And
there are a lot of different paths of evil. She goes down in those comics.
I know. There's so many.
Things.
I know, and I'm hoping that they do that. So Anna, what did you think of Wanda here?
So, just for like the pure like geek factor of like what I got when I actually saw it, just like the interaction, like actually seeing the Scarlet Witch and Professor X like share a scene was absolutely that was like amazing. Like, especially for it to be Patrick Stewart, as Professor X, that was just wow. Like,
I'm super glad he got that moment.
Yeah, me too. Like, I wouldn't have minded if it was I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Michael Fassbender?
James McAvoy.
Yeah, James McAvoy.
Oh yeah, James McAvoy. Yeah,
that would have been
Michael
cool too. But like, I'm glad it was Patrick Stewart. That was like, oh, chef's kiss, so amazing.
Yeah,
I love seeing that, and it was brutal too. I love seeing that too. Like, that was amazing.
It's tough, man. After Logan, it's tough watching that dude die.
I know. Yeah. Three
Dude,
times.
he got his skull ripped in half. Like, someone said, "Oh, it's not even a neck snap." Like, his whole.
I know, and it was woo, yeah, like yes, yeah. So
awesome.
I do want to talk about the Illuminati and what did you all think about the Illuminati overall, the scene?
Okay, so
Right.
I'm gonna call out like how not knowledgeable I am, because like I had a pretty good discussion with someone on my channel who explained to me the Illuminati in the comics versus the Illuminati as they were in this movie.
Mhm.
So big call out was like the lack of using the Infinity Stones, as far as like that's what makes the Illuminati. Like they each possess one of the Infinity Stones. And
Yeah.
their lack of ability to foresee that Scarlet Witch was going to be the threat in that multiverse, and them falsely accusing Primary Strange of being the threat to their multiverse. And just like the lack of foresight that Mr. Fantastic had to go and tell everyone what Black Bolt's power is, to give Scarlet Witch a heads up to stop him.
You're like reading my mind, or you're pulling it from my brain,
Dude,
Ray,
yeah,
right now.
Professor X
It's
stuff
like,
right there.
I freaking hated it. Okay, let me tell you. All you needed was Professor X there. I like Black Bolt, and I wanted to see Mordo. Get Captain Carter and Captain Marvel out of there. Okay, and that horrible. Everybody got their John Krasinski, freaking Reed Richards. Can we move on from that? That deadpan, not miscast. It doesn't work, guys.
Whoa.
Okay. Does he look nice? Is he hot? In my opinion. Okay. I'm just saying, for me, don't like it. Don't like it. I did not. I like the deaths. I liked it, but it's just like, that is not Reed Richards. Reed Richards does not telegraph. And we're at the Baxter Foundation level, and he's teleporting in places, and he's already married and has his kids. This is like top of the line Reed Richards. He is the smartest man in the universe.
They call him
You're
that,
telling
too.
me that Reed Richards is going to telegraph and just be like, "Hey, Wanda, you know what? I can just get him to say something to you, and you're dead." Like, Reed Richards is not going to telegraph that. He's not going to put that out there. Okay. To me, it made absolutely no sense. And then Captain Marvel, like, she was just cocky and had all this attitude for nothing, just to get like crushed by some rocks. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Captain Carter has no point on being on the Illuminati, because Illuminati is the greatest minds in the universe. Why are you there?
Yeah, I didn't.
Why
like
are you
that.
here?
I didn't.
I like
that.
Captain Carter, but it didn't make any sense. Like, Captain Carter should not be on the freaking Illuminati.
I did like seeing Captain Carter in live action. I liked her saying, I liked her saying the Captain America line.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty tight.
Yeah, but I'm just like, ooh, that Illuminati, like, that really, the fact that it was so lackluster and so short, and that's not what the Illuminati is. Like, I could get the multiverse Illuminati, and I love seeing Black Bolt. Like, I hope he comes back. But Captain Carter and Captain Marvel being on this, Illuminati, like, it just didn't make any sense. And then, like, of course, she kills Black Bolt pretty quickly, and then she kills Reed really quickly, and then you get this. How is Captain Carter able to withstand that long of a fight against the Scarlet Witch when it makes no sense? Like, all she has is super strength. Okay, like, I mean, Wanda almost killed Thanos. Like, what is happening? It made no sense. Like, in the grand scheme of of power scaling or anything, it was just silly, in my opinion. Sorry, I'm ranting and I'm raving because I do that. But I will. Saggy, how are you?
I mean, I was good until I realized I just had the whole movie spoiled.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no! I thought you saw the movie.
I didn't see the movie. I came in and I'm in the back. I'm like, is this a spoil? Is this Doctor?
Spoiler talk?
Don't
You
worry,
did
Saggy.
not know.
April Fools. That actually wasn't the
Yeah.
plot of the movie. We just made it up.
Bitch, we in May. What you mean April Fool?
Yeah, I was doing performance art, Saggy. None of that happened.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, okay, so now I know Fantastic Four.
Oh my God,
Marvel's in
Saggy, I
it.
did not know. I thought you saw it.
All right, let's
I
talk
did
about the
not
real
see
plot
it.
of the movie now. Okay, so Tom Cruise's Iron Man shows up.
It's all
Yeah.
good. It's all good. I was just like,
Aww.
I was like, I didn't know that we were were talking about the spoilers. I didn't even know we were talking about that. Ray was just like, "Come on the panel, I got Ashley." I'm like, listen, you say you got Ashley. I'm there. I'm there no matter what. All Ray has to say is, "I got me and Ashley and all these people." I was like, "I'm there. You had me at Ashley."
Well, I just feel so bad that this film.
No, I don't feel bad. It's fine. I just wasn't sure. I was like, are these spoilers? Because I feel like these are spoilers. It's whatever. Listen, I've been good at this point. I'm at the point where I'm that person. Like, I can't be too mad at like people spoiling stuff if I haven't gotten to go see it. I don't get too mad, but I was just like, I have.
You can't even scroll on Twitter without catching a spoiler.
I was spoiled with who was in the Illuminati. Like, I woke up that morning, like, checked the DM, like, and then checked my timeline. There's the picture, the screenshot from the movie, all of them right there. There.
But you know what, though? This is definitely a movie you want to go see with your eyes, because it really is like a visual pleasure to go see this movie. Like, you do want to go
it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
So,
I think
when
that...
I go there, should I bring some lube and some...
Whoa! I didn't mean like
Sam Raimi's going to turn you on, and Wanda is hot, so you might want to bring it.
Wanda is hot.
I'm so sorry, Devin. I forgot you were here for a second. I saw you. Sorry,
is this how ladies talk about movies when dudes aren't around?
Yeah.
They whip out the lube
to the theater, and that's what
all
it's
right.
all about.
We prefer
living the dream.
Go to the
all right, now I know.
We have some nice theaters out here where we got the recliners and the things that go up so you can So yeah, I'm gonna go in there with a blanket and hopefully they got electric socket. I'm good to go. Oh, Doctor Strange! All you can hear in the movie is Doctor Strange, Bennington.
Yeah, he's hot as Doctor Strange, but when that wig comes off, I don't know. I don't know what happens.
It's the beard. It's the beard that does it.
It's the goatee and
without the beard,
and
he looks weird.
Yeah, he does. His face is like really like
he doesn't look weird.
Sunken in. Like
he looks weird.
He's very skinny in the face. Very skinny in the face. Like is what it is.
Yeah.
Belle. So what did you think of the Illuminati?
Well, you guys
feel bad because Sag is here. I'm sorry.
You guys know I like dark shit, so like.
It was tight. The fighting was fine. The fight was tight.
It was definitely a what the fuck moment because, actually no. Well, it was that they got killed. I just thought they were gonna get fucked up because it's Sam Raimi. So like I knew that I was gonna see some darkness to the film, and but like that scene itself. It was very entertaining to watch. I don't really know much about Captain Carter or the alternate Captain Marvel. Is she real or is that just
what it is Maria Rambeau. Maria Rambeau was the original Mrs. Marvel. And then that transitions into Captain Marvel. So she was the character first. And then her daughter, Monica, is Photon. So that was... So she starts out as Miss Marvel, and they switch it to Carol Danvers, and then they switch her name to Captain Marvel.
Okay.
So it's like... That is from the source material.
Wasn't she married to the male Captain Marvel? Wasn't there a male...
Monica had a relationship with Blue Marvel, her daughter.
Okay, but
there is a male Captain Marvel, but I think he's a DC character.
He's the DC.
Are you talking about Shazam now?
Shazam.
Yeah.
No.
The Captain Marvel names, is.
Or are you talking about Marvel?
The real Captain Marvel.
Marvel.
Because in the MCU, Marvel is a woman in the MCU.
In the MCU, not in the comics.
Not in the comics. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, back to the scene. So I enjoyed every freaking minute of that scene. And I liked it the most because they were so fucking cocky. Because Doctor Strange was trying to tell them, like, hey, you guys are about to get fucked up right now. And they just weren't having it. And then, like, they were all worried about him. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, do they not know what they're about to get into right now? And then what's her name? The black version of Captain Marvel. I forgot the line she said.
Maria. Yeah,
she was all like, basically like, oh, we ain't worried about her. You know what I mean? Like we can take her. That wasn't the line exactly, but she said something like that.
Yeah, she was so cocky.
Yes, and then
I could
when when it went down, I was like, the minute Black Bolt got freaking blew up from the inside, I was like, oh.
yeah,
I,
and
I
That was like
started
straight out of
laughing.
The Boys. I was like not expecting like that level of graphic, you know.
yeah, she
Yeah.
said what mouth. And
Yes!
I think, and I feel like outside, like Xavier and him were like the least arrogant out of the whole group. You know, because like when you see that flashback, like when he's talking to Strange, he says, "I'm sorry." You know, and like when he, you know, and I feel like even the facial acting is amazing. You know, that's what I'm saying. He is a really good Black Bolt because all of the facial acting and the expressions on his face, I really liked him. And
They gave him a little bit of cockiness because when Reed Richards was like he can destroy you with his voice, he had a little bit of a smirk, like he was like, I could do this, you know. And that was that one moment of arrogance where I was like, okay, now
he
I see
does
where
do
this is
that.
going.
Yeah. But he still was like, I feel like in that moment he was still like very, you know, sad and apologetic and had the least amount of, compared to the arrogance from Reed and, you know, and Captain Marvel and Captain Carter, he was definitely not on that level. You know, he was closer to Professor X, you know, in my opinion.
Well, Devin, what was your? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Ray.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what were your thoughts on seeing the Illuminati and like all the fan service that we're gushing over versus like it actually contributing to the plot and it making sense?
Oh, I was deeply annoyed because I was like, damn it, they got me again. They X-Forced me again. Like it was exactly like X-Force in Deadpool, where I was like, okay, now we have all these characters. Let's just wipe them out one by one. And I was like, God damn it. All right, so now I got to sit down and watch this. And then what they did to Professor X was that they did him dirty. I was like, there's no, because as soon as he walked into her mind and it was like a white space in the door and he's walking up in like his turtleneck, I was like, oh, this is classic Xavier. Xavier. Like this is going to be some shit. And it wasn't. It was just another fake out. And I was like, okay, they X-Forced me again. Like, all right, it was cool to see. And, you know, it was some cool fights. And I particularly, like, out of all of those battles, the one I liked the most, oddly, and I wasn't expecting it, was the hand-to-hand fist fight between Doctor Strange and Mordo in that hallway or that.
Yes, I love that
because that looked really cool, and I wasn't expecting that. I was like, oh, this is almost like, you know, like a Hong Kong action sequence here. Like there was all sorts of great like martial arts fighting going on in that little area, and it looked cool. And I was like, okay, that was kind of cool to see. But yeah, I mean, it was a great cameo from everyone. I don't feel one way or another about, you know, John Krasinski as Reed Richards. I wasn't petitioning for it, but like I don't feel strongly against it either. It was cool to see, I guess. I don't know if he's going to be the Reed Richards for the Fantastic Four film or not. But I mean, it was cool to see, and I loved. Like the first thing when Xavier rolled out is like, I was like, are they playing the X-Men theme? I think they're playing the X-Men cartoon theme right now. And when I watched the credits, it said it was the X-Men cartoon. It was X-Men 97 theme. So I was like, okay, so they just officially wrapped that X-Men animated series into the MCU. Like,
yeah,
all right,
they're bringing it back.
Yeah, they're bringing it. It's gonna be canon.
Well, it is now, and it was cool to see him in the yellow hover chair
and the green suit. Like he had the whole look.
Yeah, and it was awesome. Like I was for it just for that alone. But I thought that I think it was a well done cameo from all of them that actually did well to kind of push. It wasn't about them. It was about how strong and unstoppable and dedicated Wanda was, because she just ripped through them like nothing. And like these are like, they're not sloths. None of these characters are slouches, but like she just ripped through them. And then I think that was before that was when they freed America Chavez and they were chasing her through the tunnel and like the water is there and like she just looks like a demon. Like
she's like,
she was crackling her bones and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, this is a nightmare.
Yeah,
like, it was cool. Like I think I think that moment, like the movie was fine up until that moment. I think that's really where the accelerator was hit on like the tension for me.
The best part of that movie, guys, when I totally saw it, was in the beginning. In the beginning, when Doctor Strange was talking to that one person, and they were like, "Yeah, we got some stuff happening," and Doctor Strange was like, "Yeah, I have powers, y'all, and I'm about to use those powers to save the multiverse." And then like all these people came out, and then Wanda was there, like, "Yo, so like I totally enslaved an entire town and lost my mind for a bit, and now I'm like back to normal kind of, but like my man's is still kind of dead but kind of not dead. I don't know what's going on." And like then Spider-Man somehow like called Doctor Strange and like, "Yo, so like are we gonna have another movie like mine, or like we just copying what just happened in mine? Are we gonna get them box office sales?"
Go find out.
Yeah,
and this sounds like an amazing movie, Saggy.
Yeah, that's the movie I totally saw.
Better than the movie I watched.
I mean, I might have watched that, but it sounds amazing. I think you should pitch that to Kevin Feige. I mean, I
should, and I'm with Isaac,
and he's my husband, so I'll give you. You can call him up, and
I'm with Isaac though, and then all of a sudden Rick Sanchez shows up, and then it's a Rick and Morty episode. So I mean, it was great. It was absolutely great. Yeah,
I mean, it actually was a lot like a Rick and Morty episode.
Michael Waldron, he wrote it, and he is half of the creators and the writers behind Rick and Morty. So yeah,
makes 1000% perfect sense.
But he also wrote Loki, and then he wrote this.
Ugh. So, like, my question,
but Loki, the writing was a little. This here is like I got so tired of the other me and the other me, like that whole it's just like some of the dialogue was really wonky here, and and that the use of that over and over and over again. I didn't like that, and I know that they don't understand about the TVA, but I wish, Doctor Strange could have, they would have known the word variant, because it just like the first time, okay, it's cute when America Chavez says it, but it's just, so there has to be a other me. Like it just was silly to me, that line. I didn't like that. Anything silly dialogue in the script that anybody noticed that they want to point out that was just ridiculous?
Well, I don't know about ridiculous, but there was one part at the end or towards the end where Doctor Strange is being overcome by all of those ghost souls or whatever, and Christine takes that blunderbuss or whatever it is and starts blasting him away. Like she says, like, "Go back to hell." And I was like, wait, is this like a drag me to hell kind of call out here?
That was so Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
That I like that one though, because it was like so campy and Sam Raimi though. But
that's kind of what I felt too.
Yeah. Rhea, anything that you can think of?
Come back to me. Circle
okay.
around.
Belle, anything you can think of?
Not necessarily, but I could tell you a scene that looked horrible to me. It looked stupid.
Sure, anything that you all didn't like. Let's hear that. Yeah.
When he was a zombie and the way the camera was on him, it's just.
You mean was it when he was talking to America Chavez?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it kind of broke the tension a little bit. Yeah, I can see that.
Wait, when he was a zombie talking to America Chavez? Like,
yes.
You remember in the end? You remember, like, in the end when he's like,
Yeah. I mean, all of that, the second he resurrected zombie Strange, like from that point on, it was 1000% Army of Darkness sequel. Yeah. It was just pure Sam Raimi through and through. And I was like, okay, well, this is awesome now. It had all the same camera movements and a lot of the same kind of, zoom ins and all of that. And I was like, okay, this is just straight up Sam Raimi, living his old self.
Yeah, I really thought it was cool. But it was campy and cheesy, but it's like Sam Raimi, like it's like the campy stuff for me anyway that works. But I can see like with Belle, because I heard a lot of people say that seeing him like trying to have this, like, give her this pep talk with his face and looking like a zombie, that it was just that they were laughing, like they didn't buy it, because to them it was so funny, in this comical way. So I understand Belle's point completely. Anna, did you have anything that really stuck out, that something that maybe you didn't like in the movie?
None of the dialogue really bothered me, but there is this one line I guess is worth talking about. Where Steven's like, "I love you in every universe." Did you guys think that was cringy, or do you think that?
I thought that was sweet.
Yeah, I thought
But
that
I'm
was
a,
sweet. I liked
I'm
that.
one of those like I thought that
Hopeless
was cute.
romantics.
No, I'm not a hopeless romantic, but I thought it was sweet.
No, I thought that was sweet.
because I
liked
felt
that.
for him. Because I felt like I really believed that he cared for her. I just never believed that she really cared for him. This
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
version of Christine. So I bought it. So I liked it. When the delivery and so I bought it, and it kind of reminded me of Wanda and Vision in a way. A little bit, but not on that level, but just like the way the line was delivered. And so I really did like that line.
Yeah, me too.
I just remembered. So just to like quickly segue off of that line, there is this like reoccurring question where characters are asking each other, "Oh, are you happy?" I thought that was annoying, and I don't know. I was just like personally triggered by that question.
Are you happy?
Wait,
No,
why?
bitch, stop asking.
Yes,
I'm not
I
happy.
Yeah.
I
so
was
that-
until you kept fucking asking me if I was happy.
Yes, I hate that so much.
Okay,
And then-
fair enough.
And then the second one was them in the restaurant with Wong and Strange and
America Chavez.
Yeah, they're just talking, and America is speaking Spanish, and Wong understands, and she's like, Strange is like, "Great, what did you just say?" And they're Wong and America are looking at each other like, "Oh, you don't speak Spanish?" And Wong's just like, "Yeah, like." I forget what he says in response, but he says it in Spanish. But yeah, I just thought that was just sort of like
Cringe. I didn't like
But
Cringe.
that.
I also thought it was weird that Doctor Strange doesn't speak Spanish. Like,
But
Well, the
in
other
his
one did.
multiverse, yeah, the multiverse.
but
one did.
I know, but I'm saying that this version, as cultural as he is hyper intelligent. It just, to me, it didn't like. I just didn't buy that he doesn't know how to speak Spanish.
Are
Like,
you
I just didn't buy
assuming
it.
his language barriers, Missy?
Yes, I am. I'm inferring what Doctor Strange should be able to do because I love him and I know he's smarter than that, so it was just like played for a laugh, really, really. But
Yo,
we'll get
Juan was
into
just trying to make game. That's all. He was just trying to spit game at Shorty,
the
and
little
he was
girl.
like,
Oh no.
"Oh, that was a little. I don't know. I
You don't want to get
Yeah,
killed.
she was that child.
I don't remember that part of the movie. When did that happen in the movie?
I say,
Oh, what's
Doctor
that?
Strange. What did we think about Doctor Strange? What are some of his highlights? Some of the moments maybe you didn't like. Raya, thoughts, opinions. Second.
Yeah, just to like kind of circle back to how I was feeling that he had an equal presence in the film alongside his co-stars. So that's why I personally didn't feel like it was a truly dedicated Doctor Strange film. Y'all did convince me a little bit more that no, like he actually does go through, some transformation that is relative to the events that happened directly to him. So I can agree with that. It is a Doctor Strange movie, and not from that, side of things. But I guess what I found annoying is that he is sort of confronted with the fact that he can't control everything, and it's unclear if he is if he comes to terms with that, or if he's going to continue to pursue higher learning or higher abilities in order to be more able to attain that ability to control more of more outcomes and more possibilities and things like that. An example of that is how he was not able to, in my opinion, manipulate Christine into like loving him again. He cannot accept that, she had moved on. He had to, impose his feelings in that moment and shoehorn it into the conversation, even though it was like high tension, fate of the multiverse depends on his decisions. He had to just shoehorn in his personal, agenda into that, high intensity moment. And I'm just like, you still haven't learned. It's not about what you want, like,
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a little bit of like his arrogance still showing, and I'm not sure if he really like grew as a character in emotionally, but maybe like yeah, like that's what I'm trying to say. Like it just felt like he went through this adventure, and he realizes that he can't win Christine anymore, but like is that gonna, stop him from trying to find a
Mhm.
solution to that? And plus, like, spoiler for, I don't want to spoil it too much, but we did get, the end credit scene where this other, multiverse Strange is still not over Christine, so that's still like a lingering possibility. Like, what lengths is he willing to go to,
Yeah, and I would say that at least the main time, like our 616 Strange here, I feel like by the end, at least he was. I think it's the beginning of him learning how to, to give up some of that control. And Wanda too had to learn that. She wanted to control everything. Strange wants to control everything, and they both had to let go. And in the moment where he let go is where he made the decision not to kill America Chavez. I think that it's still a lesson that he's going to continue to learn Rhea, but I think that it opens that door for that arc because the way the MCU does things, it's like the lesson is learned, but sometimes they backtrack, but they're going on that path. And so I think that he's going to learn that he can't do everything by himself, and that he's got to be able to trust in other people. And we'll see how things play out with Clea, because like Clea is, she understands the incursions a lot more. I mean, she's bringing him in, and so I think that he's going to have to be able to trust and build that partnership with her in order to stop these incursions from happening. So I think that maybe we'll get there. It might take him a few steps, but I think that door is open a bit. But I get what you're saying. He could not let go of the Christine thing. And for him, that was like his, he just could not let that go. So I agree with you there. But,
Fucking psycho.
Yeah, that's how they are.
I do think
Story of my life.
a little bit of what they input into the script that kind of points towards his progression of letting go. Also, is like earlier on they talked about how Wong mentioned that customarily you bow before the Sorcerer Supreme, and all of that. But then at the very end, you see Doctor Strange actually bowing before Wong, which is kind of like he's humbling himself, after going through this whole experience and learning how to let go of control and trust America Chavez and all of that. He humbles himself to Wong, which I think is like the first step that Strange might actually be on that path.
Mm-hmm. I agree, because he does bow to him. That's another good point, because he does finally, bow to, because he felt like, I'm the rightful person. I should be the Sorcerer Supreme. You got it on a technicality. We heard him say that in No Way Home, because I was snapped for 5 years. And then by the end of the film, he does, show him that respect and give him that honor and kind of let go of that. So that's another moment where he does that there too. Belle, what did you think of Doctor Strange here in the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness?
Like overall?
Yeah, his character.
Like I said, you guys know I'm a DC girl, so I don't know too much about these characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like as a movie, I thought it was good, like that they actually gave us more of his character, because I've seen the other movies where he's in, and I don't, it was just like cameos and stuff. And like, his first movie was, it was a good origin film, but there wasn't that much. Well, obviously, it's just his first movie. This movie, what it did, there was some growth to his character, and I actually do appreciate that. But it was a very entertaining movie, especially the dark aspects to it. I appreciated it a lot. I had a lot of fun watching it.
Anna?
Well, I guess to like summarize it real quick, I feel like this movie, a lot of themes were about, loss and sacrifice, and I feel like his character's journey really did encapsulate that. And, a lot of the other characters, especially Wanda, also led into that whole theme, and I feel like, all really plays together really well. Like I said, there are some characters that didn't really work for me that much, like America Chavez. Like, I feel like they could have done something with her to, play into that theming a little bit more. I think that would have sold people and endeared people more in the character, rather than just, mostly comedic stuff. But, I definitely like Doctor Strange's character in regards to how they did it with the theming of the film. I think it was really good.
And Saggy, when are you gonna get the chance to see it soon? She's muted, isn't she?
Oh, sorry,
there
I
she
muted.
is.
Yeah, no,
No,
I
you're
muted.
fine.
No. I was gonna. My new work schedule has been like wild, so I haven't like had the time. So like maybe next Sunday I will get a chance to see it. I was gonna see it like we were gonna go see it yesterday, but I was like too tired. I was like, if I go see this movie now, I'm gonna like literally fall asleep during it. I want to be awake for it. So next Sunday I will definitely probably hopefully go see it. Plus I'll have
yeah. Hopefully we didn't ruin it for you, though.
Nah, honestly, I will probably forget everything that was said.
And because you don't really have the context, and once you see it, I'm curious, like with all the visuals and everything that's happening, you'll get a different understanding for it. But I hate that you got the Illuminati stuff.
No, honestly, I don't like I said, I don't always necessarily mind spoilers. I was so used to spoilers with Walking Dead, like I couldn't because I tried to religiously watch Walking Dead every Sunday night, so I didn't have to worry about the spoilers. And I'd go on Facebook and there'd be spoilers galore because I had two friends who just wouldn't shut the hell up because they had to talk about it. And I'm just like, you know what? At this point, I'm like, I can get spoiled and still like enjoy the show or movie, so it doesn't take too much away. And like you said, there's not much context you guys are giving, so I'm just like, Illuminati, Doctor Strange, and I could just make up a story of Doctor Strange, just Spider-Man shows up, then Aquaman for some reason is there, and we're just like,
Aquaman,
you're in the wrong universe, bro. Like, how'd you get here? And he's like, I don't know, I just swam, and I
want to see Saggy's movie. Like,
I mean, it is the multiverse.
Like, I know, like, I would love to see the the Marvel versus DC. I would love to see that.
I really want to see it.
Fuck yeah.
Did you ever read those comics in the 90s?
I did. I've read them. Yes, I've read. Yes,
People were telling me that was a stupid idea. I'm like, why would you not want DC versus Marvel? Because there's literally like an equivalent of a superhero for each side. Like you have Superman
it would be great.
versus Captain America. You could have Batman versus Iron
Man.
Like,
are you saggy?
You know how
Superman and Captain America? Come on, dude. No.
Why not?
Because Superman would destroy Captain America with one punch.
Listen, I didn't say
Wanda would take care of Superman.
Well, what if you give him a hammer though? Like,
or maybe Thor. I don't know.
Nell's gonna kill me if I say anything.
Thor's a better option.
I forget who fought Superman in those old. It was called like Amalgam Comics. I forget who fought Superman in those. I don't think it was Cap. I forget who it was though.
I'm curious if Captain America's shield would be able to deflect Superman's laser beam.
Miracle Man.
No.
You don't think that Captain America's shield would be able to really?
I don't think so. He's freaking Superman.
It's vibranium, and he had Superman. Like if it was
just give him a kryptonite shield.
I mean, the best matchup, like in the MCU right now for Superman would be Wanda. It'd be okay.
Yeah, because he is weak to magic.
I would say Wanda or Thor. I think Thor could hold it.
Thor would be a better option.
Yeah, I mean, but I think Wanda. I think Thor would be a longer battle.
Hulk would be a good option. I think
Wanda would be.
I would like to see Batman, like how he would like take. Because remember that time when Batman had like all of the like Justice League's weaknesses, and it got stolen. I would love to see Batman try to like deduce like what all of the Marvel superheroes' weaknesses would be and have that like list of stuff. That'd be kind of really cool.
It would all be psychological weaknesses, childhood traumas,
Marvel characters,
girlfriends that fell off of buildings.
I don't know. I don't know though, because Batman is also traumatic. He'd be like looking at Spider-Man and be like, "Ha ha, your uncle died." He'd be like, "Bitch, both your parents have got shot, bro. What are you talking about right now?"
Yeah,
they'd just be like, "Oh."
But like almost every Marvel character, they have some type of trauma, and that's part of their flaw. Like they're very like, even though a lot of them are like enhanced or these, aliens from these other planets or gods, they're very like human like. They're very flawed in nature.
But
so like
DC
so they have lots of trauma. Like, most of the characters in
DC
Marvel
characters have a lot of trauma too. Like almost every single DC character has had like a
Harley, the biggest one is an abuse victim. Like Harley Quinn's like the biggest
Her,
merchandised, other than
She was
Batman. Like,
made.
I mean,
Yeah,
Superman
that's
lost
true.
his entire planet, his whole entire family, except for Supergirl's gone. I mean, Batman.
yeah, but he doesn't act depressed though. He doesn't really count.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really count Superman.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's still like when you kind of. I mean, there are moments where he was kind of like, you know, all of his
Melancholy,
family's
yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
I mean, it still kind of like sucks when he finds out he's an alien and stuff.
Ashley's like, this is not a DC stream.
No,
Listen to a DC
guess
stream.
we can talk about DC.
Hey, it's the multiverse of madness. So this is a multiversal madness conversation.
In DC, because I didn't read a lot of DC growing up, you know, so I can't really, you know,
Who
I
would
read
be the
some
equivalent
Flash,
of Aquaman? though?
Wonder Woman, and Batman.
Namor.
Namor, yeah.
Namor. Namor is
He's basically Aquaman.
He will wreck Aquaman.
Namor is way
Wreck.
beyond Aquaman.
Yeah, but
Right.
like, you know, he's basically.
Yeah, that's what I heard in the
He's
comics.
he's the first mutant, technically the first mutant in the MCU, like, you know, because of his abilities, like they call him that because where they went underwater and the way he can breathe underwater and he was able to adapt. Namor is OP.
And he's got stupid elf ears for some
I
reason.
think
Yeah.
Superman would
Alphys.
be Superman would be the only DC character that would probably hold his own against a lot of the MCU characters. Because I
Wanda
feel like
would Rex. He goes against Wanda, Jean Grey, Rex.
That's what I'm saying. Like the
Jean Grey with
It has
especially
to
with the
be
Phoenix
Zack
Force,
Snyder's Superman, though.
Out.
Not-
Snyder's.
It needs to be Zack Snyder's Superman, not any other director's Superman. Zack Snyder's in particular.
So Henry
'cause he
Cavill.
would-
So Henry Cavill, basically.
Yes, and he will overpower the fuck out of him. That's
Bro,
why I
if-
would want to
listen,
see it.
Listen, if Henry Cavill tried to fight me and I was a Marvel superhero, I would just look at him and he just weakened me by his looks. I'd be like, take me.
Damn.
Dude, I would just lay on the floor. Like,
I'm a witch, so I would like explode his head or something.
I'd just be like, nope. I would just be like, Henry Cavill, you can have me. Oh wait, you're also the Witcher. Take me now.
take me now.
Right,
Yeah, he's the Witcher too.
I was like-
Point to your Witchers, bitches.
I was gonna say, like, we didn't even talk about Pizza Poppa.
yeah, I was gonna
yeah.
get there.
No, wait,
Oh,
wait,
yeah,
wait.
Pizza Poppa.
That was a pizza papa.
Bruce Campbell, Raimi's good friend, who
Bruce Campbell in
always,
appearance?
yes,
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell, who all made an appearance in all the Spider-Man films. He was gonna be Mysterio in the fourth Spider-Man film with Tobey Maguire, but that didn't pan out. And we get to see him in a cameo here, and I would love for him to be the cameo in all the MCU movies, like to kind of like carry on Stan Lee's
That'd
legacy.
be awesome, yeah.
Because I know some people are like they didn't like Pizza Poppa. I like Pizza Poppa. I like the callback, you know, him punching himself in the face, and then like and then the end credits scene, you know, what happens there. I loved it. What did you think, Devin? We'll start with you.
I'm always a fan of Bruce Campbell appearances. Like even in that weird TV show he had that nobody watched. So I'm always gonna vote for more appearances of Bruce Campbell.
Wasn't he
And
like
it was
a
a-
time traveling pirate or something?
Yeah, it was called like Jack of all trades, I think is what it was called.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it. I liked it, and I liked the end credit sequence too. It made like the entire theater just erupted in laughter at that end credit scene. So I mean, that was great, and I was happy to see it. Like him and Sam Raimi just have that lifelong rapport that'll never ever go away, and maybe that'll manifest as Bruce Campbell as some other character in the MCU. I don't know. I hope so.
I would love to see
that's
him.
who
I
that
would love
was.
to see him, like if even if it's just like
Evil
cameos.
Dead, right?
Every film.
Yes.
I love Bruce Campbell. I love his, you know, campiness that he just brings just automatically, like he like in his, you know, awkwardness and his weird vibe. I love it. Like he's like so like he's not like Jeff Goldblum, but it kind of reminds me of him. They're these very quirky guys that you just love to see on screen. And bring Bruce Campbell back, please.
Bruce Campbell
Need
is
more of him.
like Bruce Campbell is a very talented actor, and everything he's done, even in like a goofy film like Ash, like the Evil Dead series, like the old school Evil Dead series. When you go back and watch Evil Dead, it is a cult classic because of just how friggin' cringe it is. But Bruce really makes that his own. And then like the first time I really got into Bruce Campbell was Burn Notice. He was really good in Burn Notice, and I think that having Bruce Campbell in anything does like add to it, even if it's like a little bit of comedy relief, because that's just what Bruce does. He can be very serious, but also he's very comedic, and I love Bruce Campbell. So I was hearing that he's in it, I'm like, oh, they brought Bruce into this. I love that because I love Bruce Campbell. He's such a bright light. He's like kind of like gives me like Robin Williams vibes. Obviously, he can't be Robin Williams, but he's like a modern day Robin Williams.
Just a cool guy, you know.
Hey, guys, I gotta go. Ash.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Belle, for joining.
No, thank you for inviting
Appreciate
me.
you. Yes. Hopefully next time you can join us. I was glad to have you here.
Yes,
Yay,
absolutely.
Belle.
Nice meeting whoever the hell you guys are.
See,
The rest of you guys.
So you don't know me now? What the hell?
Oh, I know you.
Damn.
I'm talking about the
Nice meeting you too.
And nice
Wow, Belle leave it off like that.
No, I'm talking about the guys, not you girls. I know you.
Devin. It's Devin.
Yeah, this is like the first
And
time I
it's
met
Anna.
you guys. Okay,
Oh,
Anna.
Belle.
Anna?
Yeah, Anna.
Hi. Yeah.
Okay. That's how you say it, Anna?
Yeah.
Anna.
Okay, cool. Nice to meet you guys. It was nice talking to you guys, and I'll catch you guys later.
All right.
Bye.
Bye,
Take it easy.
Belle.
Take it easy.
Bye.
Raya, since you brought up Pizza Poppa, what did you think of Pizza Poppa?
Yeah, okay, so I'll admit I did complain about some of the silly tension-breaking humor moments. Pizza Poppa, you could argue, was definitely one of them, but it's one of those moments where I'm so biased because, to Sagi's point, just seeing Bruce Campbell on screen made my heart smile, so I gave that scene a pass, even though it just was a tension-breaking, silly moment that... I think that was the pizza ball moment that you called out, Ashley. That was just that was annoying. I can see why someone would be annoyed by that if they were not a Bruce Campbell fan. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
It wasn't him. It was like America. She's like, I got my pizza balls. I guess it's not free. It was her. It wasn't anything. It was just her reaction and her excitement because she had pizza balls.
Yeah, the whole free food in every universe thing was that. It didn't even end up being true.
and her obsession with pizza. I get it. You like pizza, girl. And you like food.
I think that was veiled social commentary on our capitalist dystopia.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was. Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. I will always be okay with that.
Pizza.
Anna, what did you think of Pizza Poppa?
I love Bruce Campbell. I love his voice, especially. So any chance to see him on screen, hears that fucking amazing voice of his, I'll never turn that down. I have a question for you all though. Would you eat the pizza ball? Would you eat the pizza ball?
I don't eat pizza.
Oh, you don't eat pizza? Okay, so that's...
I don't eat bread.
Yeah. Oh shit.
She just went
Or cheese.
in with her hands. No,
It's just... Oh,
That's
okay.
so odd. Yeah.
yeah.
I saw-
went in there.
I saw a recipe for pizza balls on TikTok several months ago. And I was like, I gotta try making this. It was kind of weird, but it looked good. So maybe I'll try it and I'll let you know.
I made my kids the homemade pizza rolls. They wanted to do that when they were little. We made these homemade pizza rolls. We did that, but they've never been ooh, I want a pizza ball.
Pizza ball.
Yeah, that just sounds like a doughy, greasy.
That sounds delicious.
I just looked it up. It looks pretty easy to make. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pizza balls.
I'm not.
That's what they call them.
Zaki, make me some pizza balls, please.
It looks good. It looks really easy to make.
So, okay, what would your score? Do you? How do you score films? Did you do a letter grade? However, what letter or number would you associate with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Raya?
I give it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, it's very enjoyable. Not to push down Moon Knight in order to uplift
that show.
Doctor Strange, but just coming off of the day of having finished watching Moon Knight and still feeling unfulfilled as far as what I was hoping for. Then going into Doctor Strange, which was just such a love letter to the fans, and there were some moments that were still jarring and unfulfilling as well, but it was just a night and day emotional experience for me. having experienced 2 different Marvel properties at once. So yeah, that's why I give it an 8 out of 10. Maybe like after some time passes, I'll see it again and maybe my score will change. But that's how I'm feeling about it right now.
Devin?
I guess if I was going to stick with the letter grade, I would probably also give it an 8 out of 10. I had a lot of fun with the movie. It actually, in a weird way, kind of reminded me of Thor Ragnarok, because there was a lot of like swashbuckling adventuring going on, traveling to all these weird locations, and it was a cool thing. I had a lot of fun with it. They probably tried to be a little bit too ambitious with all the characters that they put in there and all the moments and whatnot. They probably could have cut some of that out and maybe given a little bit more meat to America Chavez's character. But ultimately, I had a lot of fun watching it, and I will watch it again at some point, which is, that's something I don't really do very often with movies. I recommend it to people. Like I didn't like the first Doctor Strange movie. I thought it was kind of dull. And over time, I was ingratiated to the character because of his appearance in Thor Ragnarok and then Infinity War and Endgame and all of that. And it was like, okay, so like all these other movies did Doctor Strange better than the first Doctor Strange movie. It's like, so maybe the second movie will actually be better now that they have a better understanding of the character and how to like utilize them. And I liked it from a character point of view. I thought that Benedict Cumberbatch is really finding his groove with the character and is very comfortable with, the arrogance and the swagger and all that sort of stuff that the character has. But also I think that Marvel is starting to get bold with how they use the character. Like I liked like the magic battles and like the concept of magic in this world itself made a lot more sense. It was a lot cooler than it was in any of the previous iterations of Doctor Strange. Like the whole dream walking thing using the Darkhold, I thought that was fucking awesome. I was like, oh shit, this is like real wizard stuff. And then like the music battle or the sound.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up the music battle. What did you all think about that?
I loved it.
I loved it too. It was very like creative and using the things in the room, and then it just looked visually just like it looked so cool with the music notes. Just I really liked it. And it was something different. Yeah. Them using, magic in a different way. I agree. I feel like the magic and the sorcery was like elevated here, especially with Strange but it's also scary because now Wanda is completely overpowered now. Strange is almost completely overpowered, and now he has a third eye. Like I'm worried about like depowering issues later down the road, but obviously that's outside of this film, because power scaling can be an issue. We've seen them do it with Vision before, so that would be my only concern moving forward with that. But I agree, I loved it. I agree with everything you said, Devin. Did you have anything else to add? I just wanted to add that point.
No, just that I highly recommend the movie and I loved it. And if you like Sam Raimi, you'll love it too.
Yeah. Anna?
I don't really do like letter grades or anything like that, so I'll just say it's a good time, no alcohol required. Go watch it.
Yes, that's great. And for me, like I said, I had like the issues with the Illuminati, some issues with the script, but overall, like for me, now that my girl Black Widow is gone, now that my RDJ, my Tony Stark is gone, my two favorite characters that are in the MCU were in this movie, Doctor Strange and Wanda. And I thought that I was so excited. I was so hyped to see this movie more than to see No Way Home, actually. And I love Spider-Man. I love Tom Holland, but this right here, I was so excited. And then I was even more pleased that there was not all these cameos. Like some people were disappointed that there wasn't an overcrowded of all these characters in the movie. For me, I thought I liked the fact that, you had these three characters, and it's sometimes America Chavez, she was really like a plot device, but that with the focus on Strange and Wanda, and they were essentially doing the same things, right? But Wanda's evil and Strange is the good guy, right? So I really enjoyed it. I would say go watch it. I've seen it 4 times in theaters, and I'm gonna go see it again. Because I'm a crazy MCU apologist and Marvel apologist, so I will be going at least 3 more times this weekend, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, some of, like I said, Michael Waldron, like some of there's some script issues, but the performance are top of the line. The direction, the visuals, everything, the horror elements, and I could not believe that they went there with some of this stuff, and then they were able to make it believable, and it still is a PG-13 film. So for me, it's an 8 out of 10 for me. I like watch this movie. Like, to me, this is better than No Way Home, and that is a big feat. I really enjoyed this more than I enjoyed No Way Home, in my opinion. So go see it. That's what I would say. Saggy.
Oh, I give it a 0.
Oh no!
I haven't seen it yet.
But did you get to finish Moon Knight?
I did finish Moon Knight, yes.
And I remember the last time I talked to you was only the first episode. Did you still enjoy the remainder of the season?
I mean, I feel like the whole show was like it felt like it was supposed to be giving us like the story of Moon Knight and like the whole like origin of Moon Knight, and then like towards the end it's like, okay, we're done. And I'm like, bro, like what was the last like 7 episodes then? Like what were we doing this whole time? Like we got a whole story of like Moon Knight and who he is and like all of these characters, and then all of a sudden we're like, okay, yeah, no, we're done. We beat the bad guy. And I'm like, bro, this would have been like second season stuff. Like what just happened? What did I watch? Like, why did we even have this show if we were just gonna end it on that note? I mean, I did like the show. I did like what how they did the whole DID situation, even though I know people who have DID will always not like how the conditions portrayed. But I mean, it was like the way they did it was kind of interesting. And I liked how they did the lore, like telling the story about how Mark Spector developed DID, like what caused Stephen Grant, like what Stephen Grant was based off of, and like the whole story behind it and how they bonded because of it. It was a really, I did enjoy it for what it was. I just think it was too short, and the fact that they might not be making it, like, why introduce Moon Knight? Like, where are you gonna put him? And like, I'm sitting there like, where are you gonna put him in Doctor Strange? Like, where are you putting Moon Knight if we introduce him and we're just not gonna explore it? I thought it was great how they did it. I thought the visual effects were pretty good, and yeah, I did like Moon Knight.
They did originally on the tweet when on Disney, I think it was either Disney Plus or Marvel Studios. They tweeted it out, Wednesday series finale. Well, then the next day it was changed to season finale.
Oh, interesting.
So that happened. So apparently maybe he's getting a second season. Like for me, Oscar Isaac was great. Ethan Hawke was good, but he was just evil to be evil. Like I really didn't understand his motivations. And like I said, those flashes were going to be away, even though it's like, oh, he's switching personalities for them not to show us something. And then you don't show us things in the last episode. It's like, why would you not show us this fight? And then I didn't like that Jake was in the post-credit scene. I would have liked for him to be introduced earlier, because it's like we get these 6 episodes and it's always the big reveal at the very end. And it doesn't feel like a cohesive story to me. And then the tone for the show was off. I just didn't really enjoy it. I didn't really care. I loved Oscar Isaac's performance, but does anybody want to add anything about Moon Knight here?
I do think they have a clearer cut path where at least I think they're going to take the character's future, because I think that they're going to pair up that character and a bunch of other characters. They're going to probably do a Dark Avengers thing at some point in the future. I think that U.S. Agent, if you saw Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think he'll probably be part of that team too. I think they're setting that up. I think that's probably where Moon Knight's going to go, honestly. They're going to make like an Avengers team for, characters that are considered to be like too edgy to like fit into their like mainstream Avengers team. So that's what I think that character is going to end up being. I think it'll be kind of unfortunate if we don't get like another, dedicated like season to that character, because I know it wasn't everyone's cup of tea, but not every Marvel series has to be. We're getting to the point where they have so many productions, so many series out, where some things can be for some people, and it doesn't always have to appeal to everyone. That's just my 2 cents, though. Yeah, that's all I have.
Devin or Raya, did you all want to add anything about Moon Knight here?
Are you pointing to me? Okay.
I've been talking about this show with Ashley for like months.
Yeah, I just talked about this show
exhausted.
2 hours ago before I came on the stream. So that's why I kept mine real quick. But I wanted to hear Saggy's thoughts.
Okay. Well, I liked it. I liked Moon Knight. It was kind of a slow start. Didn't really know where it was going to go because I wasn't super familiar with the character from the comics. But I didn't mind how it ended. I think that for these Disney Plus shows, the 6-episode thing is kind of it kind of cheapens the show a little. It kind of makes it feel, it's almost like these shows are like the grocery store sampler version of a bigger premiere kind of TV show where it's where's the rest of it? I need to get the rest. Why does it feel like I'm being cut short on this all the time?
It's Disney. They have the money to do whatever they want, however many episodes they need to make it why are they constraining it to this number? It doesn't make sense. Yeah.
And it just kind of
budget is upward $160 million for the full series, and then if you have to spread that out over more episodes, and they try to get it as close to a cinematic level. I mean, it doesn't come close because we only saw Moon Knight for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, but there was still a lot of really, really good action sequences in that series. It was, I liked it. It was because of how unique it was. It felt like it was trying to do something a little bit different than some of the other Marvel stuff, and I appreciate it for that. I think that my initial feeling on the show was it was kind of a letdown because I've seen the kind of the I forget what the medical condition is called, the multiple personality thing, I guess. I've seen
DID.
that done. Yeah, DID. I've seen that done better in Legion, and Legion was an unbelievable show on so many levels. Visual spectacle and the acting from the guy that plays David Haller, I forget his name, he knocked it out of the park in a million different ways. And just the uniqueness of how his issues were being presented in the visual medium was so awesome and just so almost David Lynchian. And then seeing Moon Knight do it in a much more conventional manner just kind of made it be oh, okay, this is whatever. But once he got to that episode where it kind of explains his origin a bit, that's, I think, because Oscar Isaac has been great the entire series, but that was where he really started to show his acting ability. And he really does an excellent job of making Mark a full-fledged character, making Steven a full-fledged character, and how those two interact with each other. And he's just acting with himself, basically, and then all of the other weird interactions. And then I like the Egyptian setting and, all of the cool, sort of cultural call-outs from being in that environment and all of that. All of that was really cool to me. I didn't even dislike the end credit where, I guess if we're going to spoil for Moon Knight, you get a hint earlier on in the show that there's a third guy in his mind, because he kills some dudes and Mark is like, Steven, did you do this? And obviously he didn't. So then at the end you get that third guy and it's okay, well, clearly they're planting the seeds for season 2 on this one. So, I was okay. I liked Ethan Hawke as Harrow and as the therapist. I think he did an awesome job in both of those respects. I really didn't feel like he was evil for the sake of evil. He had more of a cult leader kind of vibe. He drank his own Kool-Aid. He truly believed that he was doing a right, just, and moral thing from the eyes of a god, right? And he was even willing to sacrifice himself to that crocodile god or whatever. I forget the name. Hamid. Yeah, he was willing to sacrifice himself fully to Hamid, because he just so deeply believed in the thing that he was doing, which I thought was an interesting take. But I liked him in it. I like him in anything too. He's one of those other actors where he shows up in something, I'll like it. Yeah, I thought it was ultimately a good show that was just cut short by 6 episodes.
Yeah. And before we get out of here, I do want to answer Anthony's question, going back to Doctor Strange really quickly. He says, question, for Doctor Strange 3, what do you all want to see if Sam Raimi is back to do it? Does anybody have any ideas, thoughts?
I guess it kind of ties back into the question you asked earlier about funny lines in the movie. And at the end, Wong had a really funny quote where he was like, asked Doctor Strange, like, are you okay? And Strange is like, yeah, why do you ask? He's like, well, you embraced the Darkhold and then dream walked into your own corpse. And I was like, well, when you put it that way, Wong, that's pretty intense. I kind of would, if we're seeing a sequel from Sam Raimi, I kind of want to see them like play on Doctor Strange kind of actually having to deal with doing just that. Like, he embraced the Darkhold. He got that third eye clearly, so something's going on there. But like, what does it really mean to like dream walk into your own corpse, and how does that affect your how you view the world, how you view people around you, how you view your own powers? Like, I want to see Sam Raimi like take it in that direction and see what kind of trippy things he can do there.
Yeah, I would like to see some interdimensional travel. Him and Clea's like relationship evolve, like the understanding of incursions, and like, are they going to be successful in stopping an incursion? Which maybe not, because we know that once all these incursions happens, then the multiverse, caves in on itself, and then we get to Secret Wars, and we're at Battle War. And I think that Kang will be the one that kind of heads that up. I'd wish, though, the one little thing, if we could have seen like a flash of Kang or something, it would have been cool here in the film. But I want to see, that's what I'd like to see, and just them, going through the multiverse. I would like to see Dormammu come back and to see that dynamic, because he didn't kill him, he just tricked him, and that's how he defeated him. So that's what I'd like to see. Anna, is there anything that you'd like to see, or Saggy or Rhea?
I think you hit the nail pretty well on the head there. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even think about where the movie was going to go after I saw it, because I'm still kind of like, how you really top this, like, as a premise? Like, there's some plot threads that they left out there, but yeah, I am kind of puzzled about what exactly will be like the main villain and like a Doctor Strange 3, because we already know we're going to get Kang in Quantumania. So that's going to be that movie's prerogative.
Yes. Rhea?
Let's see. Well, I don't know what else to really expect. It just seems like there is so much that is possible that it seems overwhelming for me to try and wrap my brain around anything to expect. So yeah, I am really excited by the idea of Sam Raimi coming back to direct more Marvel content, if not like Doctor Strange content. But yeah, this movie has just, just removed any sense of like weight in what's already been established, because it could so easily be shifted to focusing on another multiverse and having an adventure there instead, where the circumstances are completely different and characters that we've been connected to are now dead or represented by or their hero moniker is represented by another actor, so on and so forth. So that's kind of why I'm hesitant to have any like grandiose ideas of like Sam Raimi's MCU, because literally anything could happen at this point.
Yeah. Actually anything and everything. And sometimes things you're like, oh, I would like to see that, and then it doesn't. But like I said, I'm excited to see where this character goes, and to see how this new world develops. And like I said, thank you all for watching. Rhea, do you have anything coming up this week on your channel?
Yeah, I am playing through some pretty interesting retro games on my channel in anticipation for my first published video game review that I'm working on. So yes, come by if you want to see me just rage like angry video game nerd over these very old as dirt games. So please come through. It's lit.
And Devin, what do you have coming up on You Old Nerdcast?
Well, lately I have been diving deep into Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall, and that's been quite an experience. And I'm realizing as I'm doing this that there's actually like a big community of people out there that are just super eager to watch anyone play Daggerfall, like a game from 1996. But I mean, it's cool, and like I've a lot of random chatters have come in and helped me get past areas that I was completely blocked at. So it's been kind of a cool experience in that too. It's almost like a group play at this point. But I'm only probably about 5% into this colossally massive game. So I'm going to be in Daggerfall for quite some time.
Hell yeah, dude.
And Anna, what do you have coming up on your channel?
Honestly, I'm on break right now. I'm working on
Okay.
some scripts, hashing out some scripts. Go check out my my channel if you want to check out some interesting commentaries. I'm going to be working more on scripts, less on streaming. So yeah, go check that stuff out if you like highly edited videos and stuff like that.
Cool. What is your channel?
Underhaven, youtube.com/Underhaven. If you haven't ever seen one of my videos, I recommend the one about the irate gamer, and it's a really crazy story. It's worth your time. It's about 20 minutes, and definitely the best thing I've ever made.
Cool.
All right.
Saggy, are you back? I guess not. Well,
R.I.P.
my
Mel.
channel, The Widow, I put up videos. I'll probably host a stream again, maybe on Saturday, but I put up, videos on my channel. I mainly just put up dedicated videos and stream, once a week or maybe every other week. But that's what I do. So if you like crazy celebrity news, if you like Better Call Saul, if you like Marvel television shows, if you like comic books, if you like movies, then that's what I do.
I
And
saw
the ramblings of a mad woman as well.
I saw you did a stream the other day where you were talking about that one dude who passed away recently. I forget his name. Kevin something?
Samuel. Yeah, Kevin
Yeah.
Samuels. Like Sunday, because usually like on Sunday nights we kind of do like, we do like more of like controversial stuff and like other topics. And so we talked about him. We talked about Gary. I like to say Gary from Nerdrotic. I like to say his name like that. We talked about him and his ridiculous comments that he made about Doctor Strange, being cucked by the black man who married Christine. So we had that. Yeah, he said that. There was a lot of projecting going on in that little clip, and we kind of talked about that. And we've talked about the history of wokeness on my channel, like and what the history of the word, and so I do a lot of different things, and so that's what. So it's always a cool conversation. You'll have to come hang out with me sometime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Saggy Melons, are you there?
What happened? What I missed? I came back.
No, I was saying, what what you got? Anything cool you got coming on this week on your channel?
Oh, gosh. Whatever drama's happening, I'll probably be covering it.
If you want the juice, check out Saggy Melons. I'm telling you, she will give
juice.
you the tea.
I love how he comes in late. Like, really, my co-host, like, I'm gonna show up as the stream's ending because that's what I do. Gary isn't the brightest.
He isn't.
Curd erotic, more like it. Eh?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. But you know what? We're about to get up out of here. Thank you all for watching. We will see you all very, very soon. Thank you for everybody to come in on the panel. We really, really appreciate it. This is our first show over here on Movie Madness Entertainment. Rhea, thank you for always helping me. Rhea helped me get the panel together. So it's like a good team. We're organizing it. And I enjoy working with you, Rhea. You're always so supportive and helpful. And, we transitioned from one show over to here. And I'm so glad to be here with you guys. And you know what? I hope everybody is happy and healthy. And you know what? We're out of here. Bye.
Bye.